And welcome inside the Backstage Pass. It is Friday, June the 9th of 2023. Of course, another week of shows. Very fast and furious. We're already getting ready for next week, too. Putting out our previews and, of course, a great lineup coming up next week here as we're presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey. Check them out, bangtail.com and, of course, easyliquor.com out there in Live Oak if you're at CMA Fest in Nashville. And, of course, our friends at Honky Tonk Texas and powered by the Sports Guys Podcast.com. You can also catch us at High Tide Country .net is our internet radio station. And pleased to welcome in a gentleman contacted me a few weeks ago, and I said, yeah, we have to do this. No doubt. It was an instant connection. Probably the song called One More Time had a lot to do with it here on the show. Tristan Cole joins us here on the Backstage Pass. So, Tristan, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. Thanks for having me. This will
It
be
has
real
been
fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time here over the next 20, 25 minutes here. A couple of performances here, and we usually get a chance. That's summertime for you to do some matinee shows and the lunch hour when everybody's off and hopefully browsing on those phones and catching up on the latest gossip on social media, too. And again, happy CMA Fest week to everybody out there, too. And our thanks to 11 Theft for joining us last night. They're performing today, too. Download that CMA Connect app. If I was there, that's everything you need right there for meet and greet performances and the whole 9 yards, too. Well, I'm going to dive into your story, man. You've done a little bit of everything, too, with the songwriting and acting and some things like this. Tell me how music kind of got started kind of in your life and kind of when it basically, became, I guess, I always say hobby career. And now it's what you're doing full time.
Yeah, it, it's definitely been a journey for sure. I grew up in a really musical family, so music's always been like a part of me. But I would say that my first experience with music and just my passion for it, it's funny, but I started out with being a fan of MC Hammer when I was
Mm-hmm.
like first grade. So when I saw like the music video "Can't Touch This," like I don't know, it really motivated me, right? And then after that, things evolved, and I was really into Michael Jackson. Always definitely been a big fan of Elvis Presley.
Mm-hmm.
Just growing up, my grandparents were just huge Elvis Presley fans. And then, Justin Timberlake has definitely had some big influences in my earlier career as well. And he kind of spins off of the whole Michael Jackson vibe. But every artist has like this evolutionary period. I think we're
Mm-hmm.
always constantly evolving as artists. So although I started in like the pop R&B realm, I have grown to love and understand that my passion lies more within the country realm. But being that I started off as a pop R&B artist, I didn't want to confuse my fans really,
Mm-hmm.
so I still stay in that like pop country direction, but definitely like country influences for sure in like where my brand's at now. So
Yeah, and you see that kind of becoming more of the norm today too. Is it's not just country music anymore. I think it's really cool to have a diverse situation in music where you bring in whatever people want to call it, the pop country, bro country, whatever it is now, the theme that's moving forward or has the last few years. You got
yeah.
artists out there doing their thing and bringing a little bit of a blend, kind of a crossover, which is good for the industry. I think the diversity is really cool out there. It spices things up, and variety's the spice of life too. And I think you've got a very unique sound. That's what turned me on with this latest single. Let's dive into it and have you play it for us here just a little bit. One more time, kind of has a little bit of everything. You've got some instrumentation things you do with it. You got some really cool inflections that you've done with your voice. The production is everything in there. Tell us about how the song kind of originated and who you worked with on this track.
Yeah, so two of my buddies, Mike Callie and Frank Vieira, they were very influential in tag team in this project. So one more time, we wanted something with flavor and definitely wanted a new sound that we were working towards. I really appreciate the praise that you're given
Mm-hmm.
and just understanding like that it does have like a unique sound for sure. I was just looking to try to blend as many different genres as I possibly could with it. It was more of an experiment for me. Just wanted to see, there's definitely like country influences. There's some rock in there. There's some hip hop, pop. So
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm really satisfied with how it turned out. And I feel like the experiment worked. We've had some really positive feedback from people, just tastemakers, influencers,
Mm-hmm.
fans. It's been real supportive. So we're grateful for that.
Yeah, tell me about this. I always love getting a little bit of background on like artwork and where the kind of the artwork comes from, the idea. I mean, you guys are really cool with your name at the top, and you're kind of sitting back. It looks like almost like a a table or a lounge or something, kind of having a good time with it too at the same time. And you got the letters, the block letters there on the side saying "one more time." Tell us about the artwork and kind of the cover there for the single. Who did it?
Sure. So I actually try to wear as many hats as I can. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like having diversity on a business standpoint is really important. So I actually designed the CD cover myself,
Okay.
but had some help with some friends as well with taking the pictures. But we were actually on a Vegas trip
Mm-hmm.
and just had those pictures taken, and I felt like it was really appropriate for the direction I was trying to go with the song. The song kind of has a little more of that darker element. But yeah, I mean, it was cool to kind of have a casino vibe to influence
Yeah.
some of the visual direction for the project. So
Yeah, it's got that
yeah,
casino kind of vibe to it. Like you just want to sit there. I love playing blackjack and going to the casinos over here in Louisiana. So it's definitely
yeah,
a cool thing to sit there all night. Hey, free drinks, play your game, bet as much as you want to, have a good time, listen to music. And that's the cool thing about a song like that, too. And the vibe you get from it, too. Let's go back a little, just, 2022. I mean, people, definitely putting out singles, connecting with their fans instead of full length albums. I mean, singles are a lot cheaper to release than EPs or full length albums and that kind of thing because people understand the cost of making just a one song is several
yeah.
thousands of dollars, and compared to a full record or a full EP. I want to go back to one that definitely has a real different vibe to it. But really kind of fits you. You mentioned that crossover of that pop country, Deja Vu. Let's go back to this one and talk about this because this
Okay.
was last November. I believe this came out, and I had a chance to check out a lot of cool music there. Dive into Deja Vu with us a little bit.
Sure. Deja Vu was a special project for me because it was dealing with real life situations that I went through. And it was a really hard time for my life. Last year was kind of a whirlwind for me. Just a lot of life changes that were thrown at me. And from it being imposed on my life the way that it did, it was kind of like culture shock. It took me all of
Mm-hmm.
last year really to try to move past that, find closure, and be able to move forward. But yeah, deja vu. It's a topic I feel like a lot of people experience. Everybody experience heartbreak on different levels,
Mm-hmm.
and relationships in general are hard to maintain and hard to progress in this day and age. I feel like life's just really demanding. Sometimes things just don't work out. Sometimes people drift apart, they change, and it's definitely my side of the story. I mean, there's two sides of the coin,
Mm-hmm.
and I understand that everybody has a perspective. I can only speak on my personal experiences and stuff, but yeah, I mean, family is everything. My son is so very important to me. He's what motivates me. He brings me the most joy. I love my son so much. So yeah, it was more like having therapy in a way. It was a way for me to be able to cope and kind of move past that. So
Mm-hmm.
being able to create the visual for that song was really hard to do. It was hard to relive, but I felt like it was something that needed to be said through art, and just kind of let my fans kind of know what I was going through. So,
Well, you certainly have done that too with that one, and like I said, probably a lot of cool catalog of songs out there too that people can go check out across all the digital platforms out there too as well. More with Tristan Cole. We'll take our first time out here on the Backstage Passing In, powered by the Sports Guys Podcast.com and presented by our friends over at Bangtail Whiskey in Honky Tonk, Texas. We're going to come back. He's going to play the latest single for us out there too as well across all the digital platforms, which is One More Time. We'll come back a lot more with Tristan Cole here on the Backstage Pass, and of course, Rapid Fire coming up at the end. You can also catch us at the sportsguyspodcast.com and, of course, out there at High Tide Country. A word from Bangtail Whiskey coming right back. Performance is coming up here on the show. It's the Backstage Pass. Stick around.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass. And back here on the show again, Tristan Cole joining us here on the Backstage Pass, again powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Next week we'll talk a little baseball. Bring that sports element back into it too. CJ Nitkowski, MLB Network Radio, host of the podcast Loud Outs, and of course Texas Rangers play-by-play guy, I should say color commentary guy. Probably does a little play-by-play too. CJ Nitkowski, former Houston Astro, current Texas Rangers television analyst, will be with us here on the show. We talk a little matinee baseball, so a different feel there. You can also catch us at High Tide Country. .net, presented by Bangtail Whiskey and our friends over in Honky Tonk, Texas. Tristan, it's all yours. One More Time is the latest single. Take it away.
That's right. Okay, here we go. Hopefully you guys like it. Some more unplugged feel. Here we go. Through the bar to say what's up. Same old boots, same old buzz, same old stool, kicking up dust, same old song, sing about us, got a radio on. Moonlight up above, a last call for you and me to fall in love. We got one more night in a one-bar town, one cold Miller Lite to throw it down. We got one more chance to stop goodbye. Let's see if we can read between these neon signs. Don't keep me waiting, come closer baby. Girl, you can hate me, just love me one more time. No overthinking, just ride this feeling. Don't need no reason to love me one more time. Here's the thing about what we got. You stay over then call it off. Kiss and run with the sun. Need you back, has just begun. Like I'm all to a flame. I'm burned by your touch. The habit I can't quit. You're my favorite drug. Give me one more night in a one-bar town. One cold Miller Lite to throw it down. We got one more chance to stop goodbye. Let's see if we can read between. Don't keep me waiting, come closer baby. Girl, you can hate me, just love me one more time. No overthinking, just ride this feeling. Don't need no reason to love me one more time. One more night, one bar town, one cold Miller Lite to throw it down. One more chance to stop goodbye. Let's see if we can read between. Don't keep me waiting, come closer baby. Girl, you can hate me, just love me one more time. No overthinking, just ride this feeling. Need no reason to love me one more night in a one-bar town. One cold Miller Lite to throw it down. We got one more chance to stop goodbye. Let's see if we can read between these neon signs. Don't keep me waiting, come closer baby. Girl, you can hate me, just love me one more time. No overthinking, just ride this feeling. Don't need no reason to love me one more time. Love me one more time. You guys can check that out on Spotify, iTunes, and everywhere else.
I tell you what, it's just got that vibe, man. You're in the truck, you're rolling down the road, and it's got everything it needs to say, and then some when it comes down to a great play in there too. Your guitar player, man, love it. Love it. What's his name?
His name's Chris.
Chris, great job, man. Like I said, I only wish I could play chords like that in my lifetime. I'll never learn how to play guitar when it comes down to playing that fast, man. That's always good. Of course, I can host a podcast, so that's good. I can't play guitar, nor can I sing, so that's why I do what I do. Back here with Tristan Cole. That is one more time on the single out there too, across all the digital platforms. The latest single. Make sure you guys go check it out. April 24th, the release date. So. A couple of months coming up here, riding high with that one too. We'll take another time out here, come back and talk about some more singles all night long here with me. And a whole lot more here with Tristan Cole. Don't forget, coming up at 2 o'clock today, if you like musical history, we'll have some. Sammy Sadler coming here at 2 o'clock today, Murder on Music Row. We'll talk a lot about that, including Sammy's latest single out there, too, as well, and the album that's coming along with that, too. A lot of musical history from Sammy Sadler. There, happy CMA Fest week to everybody out there enjoying Nashville, Tennessee. We put up a lot of videos this week, so be sure and check them out and go subscribe to us on the YouTube channel and check out the Sports Guys podcast.com. We'll have some more cool sports shows next week. More with Tristan Cole here. It is the Backstage Pass. Hang tight. Coming right back.
The bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Join Brandon Morrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the SportsGuysPodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass.
And back here on the show again, of course, next week, great slate of shows. Becca Bowen is coming by on the show coming up next week. Kyle Newland Jr., my buddy, he's a Texas country artist there too. And a whole lot more too. Some surprises there. If you missed so many shows, we had Love and Theft yesterday and a couple of great Texas artists, Scotty Alexander, Chuck Weimer. If you missed those shows, again, check them out. HighTideCountry.net, and of course, out there with our friends over at the SportsGuysPodcast.com. Back here, presented by Bangtail Whiskey, and of course, our friends over at Honky Tonk Texas. Tristan Cole back here on the show again. Hey, let's dive into a couple of the songs, singles there from last year too, All Night Long. Tell us how this one got started.
Sure. So that song was written by me and Mike Callie, and we had a couple of other songwriters as well that came through and was able to contribute to the songwriting process. Eli Ramos was the producer on it. He's a producer over in Nashville. And by the way, I'm actually in between, so I travel back and forth between Salt Lake City and Nashville now. I used to live in Nashville, but just want to be closer to my son. So I do the whole back and forth thing right now. Family's real important to me, but I'm originally from North Carolina. So just definitely wanted a good Southern rock type feel for the song. And hopefully we represented that properly, but it's got a really sick guitar solo in that song as well, and I feel like it's just like a good honky-tonk type vibe, right? Just being able to let people let loose on, cutting the rug on the dance floor in their boots and, having some beer and having a good time, so...
That's what life should be all about, I guess you could say. Work hard, play hard. That made me think about that, going out to a dance hall and just having a good time out there too. Cutting loose, cutting the rug, putting the boots on, and just enjoying a good time with your favorite beverage out there too, with your favorite person. Then you guys had one even before that, which was another one that caught my attention out there too. Here With Me. Let's talk a little bit about this one, including the artwork and the song itself. Felt it had a good vibe too.
Thank you. So Here With Me is actually the name of an EP that I put together, and the lead single is Here With Me. I had some collaborative efforts with some really talented artists on a couple of the other tracks. The View is a really good song on that EP. I collaborated with Brittany McLam, who is a talented Nashville country artist as well. And yeah, it was fun to kind of put more of a collaborative project together that wasn't just a single. Like you said, a lot of artists nowadays do create singles because it's easier. It's more affordable in a lot of marketing aspects to be able to hone in on those individual songs. But I wanted a body of work to be able to help represent and catapult that my country career more. And sometimes it can feel a little slower when you're releasing just like singles instead of bodies of work. And Yeah, it was really fun. I loved how it was put together. It was more on a love song type aspect. I would say the songs on those created a little more depth for me and another dimension to my branding, because I like to try to be as versatile as I can. So like I have some songs that are dark. I have some songs that are like, really party type anthems, or at least they try to be. I have some laid back songs, like the one I'll be performing in just a little bit is one that's not released yet, called Friends with Boats. Really excited about that summer record, but the EP Here With Me was more on like a love song type vibe. So
I love that, just the sound, the Friends with Boats. I just love the title of that, because summer type feel, and definitely we're getting into some summertime anthems now too. Is definitely a lot of artists are releasing of this summertime feel good music, the beach style music or what have you. Just had Sadie Bass on the other day. She had one called Wake and Bake. I said, what a great title that was from for that too. And so these summertime
awesome.
songs too. I love the fact that you can put this stuff out. Friends with Boats. We're going to tell you what, I'm not even going to wait. I want to ask another question, but I'm going to come back and hear the show. I want to hear this because it's a little taste of what's coming out here from Tristan Cole here. Again, check him out on social media. Give him a like out there too across all the platforms. And go download, stream the music wherever you guys do that across all the digital platforms out there too. We're live at the sportsguyspodcast.com and also hightidecountry.net. Presented by Bangtail Whiskey and our friends in Honky Tonk, Texas. It is the Backstage Pass. Don't forget, coming up, a lot of musical history today at 2 o'clock. We'll hear from the one and only Sammy Sadler here on the Backstage Pass. So quick word from our sponsors. And coming back, more with Tristan Cole here on the Backstage Pass. Hang tight. Performance up next.
The Bangtail pour is comprised of a sweet corn mash base. The front has a subtle sweetness and not too sharp. It has notes of a medium char or white oak for a smoky flavor in the middle, and the tail has a super smooth and warm finish.
Go behind the scenes with some of the biggest artists in music today with the Backstage Pass, powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com. Join Brandon Murrill and his co-host Kirsty Krause as they talk to rising stars and legends about their music careers. Listen to their latest tracks and learn fun facts about the men and women behind the music you love. And be sure to tune into the Backstage Pass Monday through Friday from 3:30 to 6:30, powered by the sportsguyspodcast.com. And welcome into the Backstage Pass.
And back here with Tristan Cole, it is the Backstage Pass. Right into it with the performance, Friends with Boats. I love the title of this. Tristan, it's all yours.
Thank you, man. Yeah, hopefully you guys like it. This is the next single I plan on releasing here pretty soon. We're going to be shooting the music video towards the end of the month, and this is an exclusive. Nobody's heard this, so you'll be hearing it, an acoustic stripped down version, and then stay tuned for the release. So here we go. Seagulls in the sky, waves in the sand, prettier view than the Instagram. Might not be in mine, but on a day like this, some water and some drinks can't miss. That's why I got friends with boats, losing track of time, skinny dipping sunshine. Friends with boats, tequila and lime, nothing but a good vibe. Why be an island? Acapella, go anywhere. With friends with boats. Why be an island? Acapella, go anywhere. With friends with boats. Some got F-150s playing in the big leagues, drive every green from the back tees. Exit on the tarmac, knowing where the girl's at, but none of them even come close. You know, friends with boats, losing track of time, skinny dipping sunshine. Friends with boats, tequila and lime, nothing but a good vibe. Why be an island? Acapella, go anywhere. Or with friends with boats. Why be an island? Acapella, go anywhere. Friends with boats. doesn't matter where we float, propeller wind, or if we roll with friends with boats, losing track of time, skinny dipping sunshine, friends with boats, tequila and lime, nothing but a good vibe. Why be an island archipelago anywhere? Or with friends with boats. Why be an island archipelago anywhere? Or with friends with boats. With friends with boats. Yeah. So
good vibe.
Yeah,
Summertime feeler right here on the Backstage Pass. I love that too. Friends with boats. I got some friends that have boats. I do not own one, but I love taking a boat ride out and just doing that because that's the best thing, man. Is it going to the beach? I was just there about, I don't know, a month ago, and I'm going back in July for like a week too. You just can't stay away from the water, the surf, the sand, and all the good stuff right there. So that's just a good field time song, and that's what music's all about. You know, just having fun with it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a fun one to write. I wrote that also with Mike Callie and Frank Vieira again. So they're really good collaborative team.
Sounds like it, no doubt about it. Keep those good people around you too. Collaborative team there. Hey, let's talk about one that even back up to 2021. They got to check out. Looks like you guys have the hands down on the pool table, and that's a little bit of a, I guess, I almost say argument or something like that too. But competition is the word I'm looking for. Damn it,
okay.
That's the song I'm referring to. Really cool photos, man. I look at a lot of the artwork on this one too because it's like, man, we're ready to go. We got all our tools in the bag, and again, Damage is out there. Explain this one to everybody. I love the artwork to this.
Yeah. So that was co-written with Brian Malpas, which is a real talented artist down in Florida. He's in Orlando, Florida, but a good friend of mine. We got together and wrote that acoustically before any instrumentation was ever done for it. But there's I mean, it was kind of like some personal experiences, but also like creating a fictional story kind of aspect, you know, just like toxic relationship where people want to split but can't, you know, they kind of keep getting sucked in back into this relationship. It's this ongoing like raveling circle, you know, you can't live with them, you can't live without them type thing. The actors that were a part of it were super talented. We actually won Best Music Video of the Year for the Utah Film Awards, so that was a real honor. And just getting some of that recognition so we can continue like pushing the brand forward. But yeah, it turned out real nice. It was shot by Tucker DeBevick. He actually shoots a lot of my stuff. Very talented videographer. But yeah, it was a fun one. So I'm glad you liked that. It was definitely more on like the pop country route. So I think Thomas Rhett did something not too long ago with Diplo, and so that was a big inspiration towards the direction of that song.
I like that. Yeah, it's, I mean, again, multi-faceted out there, and the music's crossing over in a lot of different ways, making it more diverse, which I think is good for the industry too. You got a little bit of everything, and like I said, variety is that spice of life, and there's something out there for everybody too, and it did it for me, and I know for a few more people out there too in the fans, it'll do it for them too and resonate with that song. I'll tell you what, let's get into a little rapid fire too, because I know it's like lunchtime, people are hungry. This is a matinee. I love doing this. It's a lot of fun too. Looking forward to having you back on as soon as new music comes out too, because that's one thing I've learned in doing this show is musicians never rest on their laurels. They've got some stuff in the can, ready to come out with more good stuff. So tell me about the rest of 23, what you're most excited about too, releasing new music, live shows. Tell me what's kind of on the docket for the rest of 23.
Well, I think the rest of 23 is going to comprise of release with Friends with Boats. I've got another song called Fine Wine that I've been sitting on, and excited to be releasing that a little later this year. Hopefully I could be back on and maybe even play it for you. I'm going to be doing a Christmas song here at Souther Studios. This is Chris' studio here, and it's a great facility for anybody who ever wants to come and lay down vocals. But we're going to be working on that Christmas song towards the end of the year, and may even try to put together a real solid stripped-down acoustic EP of all of my past songs. So definitely excited for a lot of things in the works.
Stripped down acoustic EP. That actually sounds really good too. And some of those past songs we've talked about too are eligible for download out there too. And I'd love to hear an album where it's stripped down acoustic, no doubt about it. All right, let's have a little fun. I know I say Utah, so I'm going to tie in best I can with sports out there too, because it's kind of the lonely basketball team, the Utah Jazz. But for you, is there a sports team out there that when you get a chance to kind of watch it, that kind of really captivates you, whether it be college or pro? Do you get a chance to watch a little football or basketball or baseball?
Yeah, so I'm a Patriots fan.
Okay.
Was real sad to see Tom Brady leave, but I couldn't give up on my Patriots. Didn't want to like jump ship and follow where he went. But yeah, so I'm a Patriots fan. I'm also a Warriors fan. Love Steph Curry. He's the man. I don't think there's a better basketball player. But yeah, I love like FIFA is real awesome to be able to watch. I love a lot of like soccer, but I don't have a particular team. I just think that it takes a lot of endurance to play soccer. I mean, just seeing them run all over the field the way they do is crazy. But yeah, I like to stay pretty diverse. Same way with my music is with sports. I played a lot of sports growing up. Played some college football for Elizabeth City State University. And so like sports, being an athlete is real important to me as well. So
the two go hand in hand, no doubt about it. With integrate very well with each other. The competition, the grind, everything else to make it to the top is out there as an athlete and as a professional musician. That's why I love doing this show too, as well, tying them both in. Let's talk about yourself. Any other hobbies outside of music you enjoy?
I'm at the gym about as much as I'm in the studio. So I would definitely say fitness is a big passion of mine. I love photography and videography too. So like a lot of my most recent music videos have been edited by me. They're shot by Tucker, but I've edited them, and I love directing. So just being engulfed in the artistic aspect is like a really big passion of mine. But being with family is really important to me too. So I try to spend as much time with my family as I can with the limited free time that I got.
I don't blame you, no doubt. That's what I do too. Like I said, wife and daughter love that too at the same time. And any free time I get with them, we're going to do it, which I don't have much during the weeks doing this show. And of course, doing the day gig too at the same time. Let's talk about favorite foods, favorite beverages. What do you get into?
This is going to maybe sound lame, but favorite food of mine is cereal.
I'm actually okay with that too. It's easy. You can't mess it up.
Yeah, right. And I don't know.
And I don't like to cook, so it's easy to pour into a bowl and just add milk. There you go.
Yeah. I mean, I love all types of food, like steak, burgers, but like, I don't know, something about like just having a cheap go-to, like easy put together, like you said, like, I don't know, cereal's where it's at. But I don't really have a particular I don't have a particular beverage that I go to a lot. I do love the Armour drinks. Yeah, anything that's going to help keep me hydrated, anything healthy. Yeah. I'm a big health nut. So although I said cereal, which a lot of times isn't healthy, I do strive to like eat as healthy as I can. Plus I got some allergy restrictions with like dairy and gluten. So it's kind of sucks, but you just do what you can.
Yeah, you cannot mess up too. All right, last favorite TV show. What'd you binge watch? What'd you enjoy? What series?
Binge watch Stranger Things, Walking Dead. I'm trying to think what else. Game of Thrones.
I'd love that one. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of good shows out there, but I'd say that's probably the most recent for me.
I like that too. Like I said, variety, spice of life, just like the music too, which is out there across all the digital platforms. And like I said, you know who you are as an artist. You got a great sound. You're really just bringing it to the industry right now, man. One More Time is the current single out there across all the digital platforms. Friends with Boats, soon to be released out there for Tristan Cole. Hey, Tristan, appreciate the time. Great to catch up, and I'm glad we got to do this, and let's do it again, no doubt.
No, for sure, man. Thank you so much for having me. It's been real fun. Me and Chris,
you got it too,
really
Chris. Great job with the guitar playing today too, and go by those studios. Lay down some tracks if you're in the area right there too for musicians that have those goals to put those tracks down too, definitely, and be like Tristan Cole is one of the next emerging country artists out there too as well. We're back at 2:00 after the lunch hour, and of course Sammy Sadler. Looking forward to this one too. The Murder on Music Row. He's going to talk all about that too as well, and of course some new music that he's put out And then next week, we're back at it Monday, too, with a whole slate of shows. Becca Bowen, she's at CMA Fest. And there's a rumor going around that Lone Star might be here on this program. We're trying to track them down. Of course, they're busy out there, too, as well here on the show. And my buddy Kyle Newland Jr., CJ Nitkowski, Texas Ranger Baseball, MLB Network Radio. We're just all over the place out here on the Sports Guys Podcast.com and, of course, HighTideCountry.net. Thanks to Bangtail Whiskey and our friends over at Honky Tonk, Texas. We'll see you guys at 2 o'clock with Sammy Sadler right here on the Backstage Pass. Until then, have a great lunch. We'll see you soon.
Take care.